Hi guys, Steve here in Palm Springs, and this morning I'm taking my walk in the Little Beverly Hills neighborhood of South Palm Springs. There are quite a few famous homes here. This is a very well-known mid-century modern neighborhood, one of the smallest, if not the smallest, mid-century modern residential neighborhoods here in Palm Springs. But a number of famous people have lived here over the years, and some of the homes are very famous themselves. And there's one in particular that I wanted to see this morning. Unfortunately, I just drove by it and realized it's on the east side of the street, and the sun is coming up in the east, which means the sun is behind the house. So I may have to come back and film this in the afternoon when the sun is shining on the front of the house instead of behind the house. It may be more like a silhouette this morning, but I'm going to walk by and see it anyway and tell you a little bit about the house. When the first homes were developed and the first model home appeared back in the 1950s, the neighborhood was called Ramon Rise Estates, and that's because the neighborhood is just one block south of Ramon Road. Then a few years later, when a new developer took over, they renamed the neighborhood Enchanted Village. And then in the 1980s, the neighborhood changed its name once again to Little Beverly Hills. And the reason they did that is because most of the streets here have the same names as the streets in Beverly Hills. I'm going to take my walk around this neighborhood and get in my steps this morning, but instead of sharing this neighborhood in just one video, I think I'm going to do what I did the other night at the Palm Springs Film Festival and share the homes here in shorter video clips. So the first home I'm going to visit today is called the SHAG House, and they have a website. I think it's called theshaghouse.com. Just Google it online and it'll pop up, and there's tons of information and photos, and it's really interesting how this house came to be. I heard about it last year. It became very popular at Modernism Week. Everyone was coming here to get their selfie in front of the big, beautiful green door in the front of the house, and it has a really interesting history as well. So the home was really an art concept house. It was the idea of design specialist John Patrick, and I guess he, from what I read online, he approached well-known and very popular artist Josh Agel, who's also known as Shag, about the idea of taking Shag's paintings and creating a house that was really like a Shag painting come to life. If you've ever seen Shag's paintings, and you probably have, even if you didn't know they were his, although they're very, very stylized, so once you've seen one, you know exactly who he is. He really just captures the 1950s, 60s, 70s, mid-century modern Palm Springs vibe like no other artist ever has. They're really, really cool paintings and art pieces. And so Shag and John Patrick got together and decided to purchase an old home here in the Little Beverly Hills neighborhood, and they found one that was in really, really bad shape. It needed major remodeling. It had been added on to and changed and remodeled so many times that it was unrecognizable as a mid-century modern home. So it appears and they have photos of it online, so it appears that they just took it down to the studs and brought it back to its mid-century modern glory. Once they completed the transformation, it opened up for tours during Modernism Week and was an immediate sensation. They call it a Palm Springs experience, not just a home. And it's used now for weddings and special events and tours. And I'm not really sure if you can rent it out. I'm guessing you probably can, but you'd have to check online to see about that. It was built in 1958, and someone very famous also once lived in the home. Arnold Buddy Gillespie, who was a special effects artist for MGM from 1925 to 1962, was nominated for 13 Academy Awards, including for The Wizard of Oz. I don't recall what years he lived in this house, but you can probably find that information online. The neighborhood is very proud of their homes, and they have their own website called Little Beverly Hills. I think it's littlebeverlyhills.com, where you can find the entire known history of all of the famous homes here in this neighborhood. So definitely check that out if you're interested in this really interesting bit of Palm Springs history. The Shag House is located right here on Compadre Road. You can see the Little Beverly Hills neighborhood sign as well here. Now Ramon Road is one of the main thoroughfares here in Palm Springs. It's a very, very busy street. But this neighborhood is a block away and pretty quiet. These are the mountains facing west. And the Shag home is here on the left-hand side of the street. So you can see it's a little bit in the shade this morning. And it's at the end of the street here. Almost at the end of the street. There's some other very beautiful mid-century modern homes here as well. Like this one. Here's another really pretty mid-century modern home here on Compadre. Now this is really pretty with these breeze blocks. They call them breeze blocks because instead of having a solid brick wall, this open design lets a breeze come through, which is nice. The last time I was here was probably 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and this was a beautiful green golf course. So I definitely need to find out what the Prescott Preserve is. I see people walking over there. Maybe it's like a nature trail or something. But here's the Shag House. Again, you can see the sun is coming up behind, so the front of the house is facing west. And look at this cool door. Looks just like one of Shag's paintings, if you've ever seen his paintings. And it's especially cool when you look at the website and you see what this house looked like before they transformed it. I mean, it had just been changed so much. It didn't look at all like a mid-century modern home. It was just a hodgepodge of all kinds of different designs. And this door became famous on Instagram because everyone came here to get their photo taken in front of the green shag door. So right now, this is across from the preserve. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like once they've completed whatever they're going to do. Now I see people walking over there, so it seems like it's maybe a nice place to walk. And you can see, even though Ramon Road is down at the end of the street there, I don't know if you see the green light, it's very quiet here. It's a pretty quiet street. They did a really nice job here. Now they are having tours here for Mid-Century Modern Week in February. I think it's February 15th. You can actually tour, I believe, the interior of the house. Now I read that the tour is a self-guided tour. It's $90 and there will be 6 homes open on the tour. Now I don't know if all of them are open to go inside or if it's just a tour of, some of them, just a tour of the exterior. But that'll be happening for Mid-Century Modern Week this year, 2025, February. And I would really love to tour the inside. I don't know if I want to spend $90. But if 6 homes are open, $90 seems like a lot, but the tour is an hour. Now, I don't know if it's an hour inside of each. I'll have to look online and get more information and share that with you once I have a little bit more information and once we get a little bit closer to Modernism Week in February. But I wanted to at least come by this morning and give you a preview and show you the exterior of the home and this beautiful, fun shag door. So I don't know if these are the owners that are here or if it's being rented. So I don't want to intrude too much. I know it's a very famous home and I'm sure they're used to a lot of people coming by and filming and taking selfies. So I'm guessing they probably started to say I don't think they'll mind me getting a selfie in front of the door. I'm sure it happens a lot. And this was created as an art piece, an experience for people who live here in Palm Springs and visit Palm Springs, so I'm guessing they're probably okay with it.